Yo, what what the frick is up? So every weekend for me, my weekend is Wednesdays and Thursdays. But every weekend I like starting off the weekend with taking a walk on the mountain and just like being with my thoughts. And I think I may have mentioned that in my last little video talk. That you should all take some time like that during the week to do that. And honestly, on a side note, if you want to change your life in 30 days, delete social media. Um, I deleted Instagram and TikTok, Snapchat. I've had Snapchat for like fucking 3 years. Facebook, all that stuff. And it has changed, like, it's changed my life again. And I did that a few years ago and I was the happiest I've ever been. And I quit. Because, like, when you're trying to grow a business and stuff, you kind of have to be on social media nowadays. I get that. But if you want to change your, if you're not trying to grow a business and you just have social media for like scrolling purposes, delete that shit. Delete that shit. But that's asides the point for today. But something that I thought about, or what, getting back to my point, is whenever I take those walks, I try and really like conceptualize a thought I've been having, conceptualize and think about in depth, like a way of life that I'm trying to, think about or whatever, and just like kind of speak it out loud, because you can only think about so many things in your mind before it kind of becomes like cluttered. I realized, what are you doing? This dog's stupid. Not stupid, this dog's goofy. But what I was really thinking about today was like, you know, Western civilization and just people in general nowadays are very, results driven. And all they care about is the amount of hours they've worked or the outcome or the end product or et cetera, et cetera. And while I think that all of us need to have that in the back of our mind as a goal, you will never be, from what I've heard and what I've seen, is that every time that you achieve, even for me, like every time that I've achieved something with my physique, social media, business, not really work because I haven't had too many jobs, but every time I've achieved it, it hasn't fully fulfilled my cup, because there's always, like another mountain to climb, or, whatever analogy you want to use. And something that I've really honed in on the past couple weeks, and like being on social media has allowed me to kind of highlight this within my life, is finding micro wins in everything that you do so that you feel like you're winning all the time. Okay, now I know that some people can like extrapolate that and be like, oh, so can like getting out of bed and just like being like mediocre be a win for me? No, you need to you don't need to just tack on the word micro win to everything you do, because some things should just be required of you. Some things that should just be the standard. And that's not really a win for you, because that's just what you do, like being a good person, being on time at work, being cleanly at work, whatever. Things like that are just your standard, so those aren't like wins per se. But like, let's just say that you want to be a really good, I don't want to use a good bodybuilder, because like that's just like a generic. I'll do another example, and then I'll do like from my perspective as well. So let's say that you want to be a really good guitarist, okay? Micro wins could be like, you have to use your fingers a lot. It could be taking care of your finger health. It could be taking care of your guitar, cleaning your guitar so that every note you play sounds good, making sure all the wires are always correct and keeping those up to date. It could be whatever studio you're in, making sure that it's how you want it to be, how you want it to be set up to best play the correct notes or whatever. You have to find within your process of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you have to find these micro wins. So with bodybuilding, I know that's generic, like I said, generic, example, but that's really the only one that I can speak truly of. Everything that, and you don't have to, whatever you're pursuing, I guess you don't have to be every single thing you do be towards that. But bodybuilding is such like a 24/7 thing that, a lot of your days, you could tack on a micro win or not tack on a micro win, but like attach everything you do be towards bodybuilding because it's like a 24/7 sport. From the sleep you get to the steps you get to the water you drink to the pills you take to the drugs you take to the food you eat to the workouts you do, all of that can go towards that bigger goal of bodybuilding and purpose. But like what I was saying was like the micro wins I look at that bring about joy to me every day is waking up at the same time every day, or relatively the same time every day. I wake up like on my days at work, on days that I work, I wake up at 3:40 to 3:45 every single day. When I'm off work, I wake up at like 5 or 6 just because I can sleep a little bit longer. But that's a micro win. I got up on time. I got my day started good. Win. Get up, take all my supplements, take my gear, whatever. Micro win. Win right there. I go do my fasted cardio. I keep my heartbeat at 120 for the whole 40 minutes. Good. Micro win. Every single thing that you do that is towards that goal, you need to be able to identify that as a micro win, and that will bring you about I'm sure you've all heard of it, and you probably think it's corny to hear it again, but loving the process. When you create these micro wins for yourself, you begin to just love doing the thing and pursuing the thing that you want. So in the end, like I left a comment on a podcast last night, and it was like, you need to formulate all these micro wins in your process so that if the big thing that you want to accomplish, or not if, when the big thing that you want to accomplish comes to fruition, awesome. It comes as a byproduct of you loving to just do the fucking thing, to do the process, to do the things that go into being a good guitarist, being a good teacher, being a good scientist, being a good bodybuilder, whatever. And if it doesn't come if it doesn't come to fruition, if it doesn't come true, you still have the process. You still have what you love to do every day. You have your routines. You have your, like for me, it's taking the supplements, eating the food, timing the food correctly, getting my steps in, getting my water in, progressing my lifts in every single way I can, learning about certain, I don't know, fucking lipid panels and learning how like I can improve my EGFR so my kidney health is better so I can, I don't know, I'm not gonna get on that. I'm not gonna say that on here. But just you have to find the micro wins within your process of developing into whatever you want to be. I read something in my book last night last night that talked about there are these Buddhists that were like making this painting. Like this guy was in like Tibet, I think it's called, and they were making this painting, right? And they're working on it for hours and hours and hours, and then they're finally done. And the guy comes back the next morning, it's done, and they're all looking at like, oh wow, this is awesome. And then they destroy it, and he's like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like that? Why did you destroy that? And their way of thinking is it's the doing of the thing that we love. It's not this end product. This end product is just a byproduct of doing the thing that we love. So if what you are doing and the work that you put into whatever it is that you want to do is solely for the end product and solely for the outcome, I don't think you're going to last. And I don't think you're going to be happy when you get that outcome and you're like, fuck, I still hate myself. I still hate my life. Because like, how many times have you listened to people on, like popular people, get all this millions of dollars and whatever, I still want to kill myself. It's like, fuck, if they would have just understood to learn and love what they do before, hey buddy, they would have accomplished that thing, but they would have accomplished that thing and been happy because they're doing what they love. And I want to tie this back to faith. So, or whatever religion, whatever religion you fall under, if you can tie this purpose that you have, this passion that you have. And another good, not to get off topic, but another good point that book made was like passion is in the present, desires is in the future. So you don't need to have these desires because that's future. That's forward thinking. You need to think passion in the present. Okay, beside the point. If you can tie together this passion you have for whatever into your higher power, okay. So like just for my example, the way that I carry myself as a man because of bodybuilding teaches me discipline, self-control, self-sufficiency, the hard work, and all the things that go into that are things that are portraying ways that my higher power preaches. So when you can tie together what you are doing and pursuing with your higher self, with your higher power, you've made it, I think. I think you've made it. You found your thing. That will start to enable you to not think like, am I being judged for doing this? Am I being, it'll allow you to stop caring about what others think about your passion, because like my passion is fueling and building me to do the things that my higher power would want me to do. So why the fuck would I care what you think about me? You know, it's such a like a revolutionary feeling that you get when what you're passionate about is building you to be the soul and the encapsulation of what your higher power would want you to be like. I don't think a lot of people think like that anymore, or at all. They just think about, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to get X, Y, and Z result. And the reason that I do this process is solely to get this result. The only reason that I post on social media is to get these followers. The only reason that I play the guitar is so maybe one day I can be in a cool band and have a lot of money. It's like, that is just going to end in a shit sandwich, I feel like, you know? I just think, bird's very loud. A good practice, side tangent, another side tangent. A really good practice that I got from that book is when you want to pull yourself back to the present moment, if you start thinking about stuff in the future or you're sulking in the past, find or think about one body part you're feeling and think about the loudest noise you can hear, and then think about the quietest noise that you can also hear. Focus on those three things all at once, and you get out of like the monologue of your head, and then you're back into the present moment. But that's some hippie duty shit from that book I read. But I just think that you like, in layman terms, in basic terms, you have got to find the things that bring you joy in the doing of the thing to get the result that you want. If you're solely doing all these things and the only thing you care about is the end, I think you're setting yourself up for failure. You know, if I just think that's kind of it, you know, and you know, the term you have to love the process is just money. You know, I can't really make it any more fucking simpler than that. You have to love doing it. You know, are there people that can get great results and like not really enjoy everything that goes into whatever they're doing? Yeah, for sure. But is that person going to be that happy? No. If LeBron James hated playing basketball or hated dribbling or he hated, I don't know, something within basketball, but he still became LeBron, you know, yeah, he would be one of the greatest. I think the greatest, side point. But like, he wouldn't be as happy. And I think that's what we all kind of want, to be honest. We don't really fucking care about the result. We don't really care about the money of the followers, bro. We just want to be happy. We want to be fulfilled. We want to have connection, shit like that. So like if you get the result and you're not happy, what was the point? If you had just learned to love the process and you didn't get the result, you would still love the process. You would still have what you want. So it's like, I don't know. I think that you've just got to love what you're doing. And I think that when you can tie that in, that's probably the biggest point from all of this, honestly, is when you can tie all of that together with a higher power and your higher self, you don't fall into the games of feeling like people are judging you or comparing yourself to others, or this person got this, they're getting this much progress, why can't I? You're like, I don't care, because I am building the way I am doing things is building me in the way that my higher self would want me to be. So who cares? Who cares how fast or slow Joe Blow down the street is going compared to me? Who cares when I get the outcome or result that I want? Who cares? You know? But that's enough yip yapping, I think, for today. Earlier on the mountain, I found a butterfly and I kept it in my truck, on some weird shit. But I was like holding it like this, and this lady was walking my way. We were gonna like meet on the mountain on the trail, and she like turned around and went the other way. So I kind of felt bad. Like I creeped her out. So I had my hand like this the whole time I was walking because I was holding it. But yeah. But I'm gonna end my talk there. I hope you gained something from this, from a philosophical point of view of thinking about whatever you're doing. Little update on my bodybuilding side of things. I'm down 20 pounds in about 3 weeks, two and a half, 3 weeks. So that's cool. Series incoming. I talked about it with a friend yesterday, Seth. Love that guy so much. Whenever I wrap up this cut phase, which will probably be the end of May, start of June, I'm going to start another push phase. And out of probably none of you that are going to watch this have seen the video or this DVD series thingy. It's on YouTube too, called Project Super Heavyweight with Justin Harris and Steve Kuklo. I'm going to make something like that. Not that I'm anywhere fucking close to any of those guys in physique or anything, but just the process, because I feel like in bodybuilding nowadays, a lot of the new guys coming into it just overcomplicate fucking everything and do all this crazy shit to, like, get some publicity or think that they're doing things a new way, when it's like the simple shit, the simple shit for a long time done every single day seems to get the best results. And I kind of want to bring that sort of vibe back to YouTube and just in my videos. And I think it'd be really cool, just for personal reasons, to have my first big push, push, if you know what I'm saying, on video, and just have it videoed. So I'm thinking about trying to do like a daily or some sort of almost daily vlog, to where I show you like, hey, I'm getting up at 3:45 today, cardio, meals, work, training, show you my training, and just show you like just the simple shit over, and showing you that someone is doing it over and over and over and over, and hopefully I get some good results out of it. Just do. All right, there, we're back. But anyways, what I was saying was, this is going to be like a showing you what the fuck I do to bodybuild, and just showing that I just love this shit. I don't know what this is, but I'm gonna wrap up the video there. I hope you gained something from this. I will let you guys know when I start that new series as well. Probably gonna be like the start of June or something like that. But I hope you guys have a great day. God bless you all, and I'll see you guys in the next one.